the minute people started coming in, it was just dive throughout. So yeah, like I said, that really for me was a testament that I can do this. I can do it on any stage, any platform, and even just like the fact that I traditionally like don't play music that's like very popular. Like obviously every now and again you need to mix things up and switch things up for people.
I do the same because
Yeah,
I feel like why should you play what's already being played?
you know what I mean? Go
Have the
listen to a playlist.
actually research. I think that's what makes a DJ.
100%, absolutely. So, and so for me, that was also a testament to the fact that, like, you know what, my music has an audience. Like, not that I didn't already know that, but it just solidified that, and it was so dope to get that
Yes.
from okay. It was crazy. Ah, yeah, yeah,
I can imagine, like, and that's like that's only the beginning of something greater, even. Uh,
absolutely.
so, also tell me you've been cooking. So tell me you also did Rocking the Daisies as well. So I saw that
Yeah.
as well. So tell me about that as well.
Um, damn, we're just scrolling through my accolades now. So Rocking the Daisies, Bridges for Music actually made that happen for me. I just have to put that out there.
Yes, yes.
But essentially, Rocking the Daisies was something that I wanted, like from jump. Like I knew that I wanted to play Rocking the Daisies. And I had been DJing at the time for like a couple of months, and I went to join Bridges for Music. And I remember like we were sitting in this like circle. We call them check-ins. We're
Yes,
sitting in our check-in circle,
yes.
and I was like, these are my and we were like discussing like what we do, why we want to do this, and some of the goals that we have. And I was like, I want to be a festival DJ. Like that's where I see myself. Like I see myself playing festivals. And one of the festivals that I'd love to play was Rocking the Daisies. Is Rocking the Daisies. And this is, I think it was like March, April vibes
Yes,
of 2023. The same year I played Daisies.
yes,
A couple months into my DJing career.
yes.
Um, Fast forward down the line, Daisy starts dropping artists, and I'm like, oh, it would be nice. Once again, I'm always just like, wouldn't it be nice? And then literally a couple of weeks before Daisy's, I had already given up at that point. I was like, okay, it's fine. Lineup is out. Like there were so many of my friends who were playing, and I was so happy for them. Like it was actually so dope. Like so much of like Cape Town's DJs were there, and it was really awesome to see. And then I got a message, and then they were like, "Would you be keen?" Like, fuck yes. I want this, like yes. And so Daisy's initially right for that year was supposed to be in October. Daisy's got moved, and guess what God did? It not only got moved later on in the year, but I ended up playing on the exact same day that I played my first DJ gig, my first paid DJ gig, which was also the exact same day that I manifested Daisy's, because the year before we were at Daisy's, and then on that day that I was playing, there was this girl vibing out with me. Her name is Basi. Basi and I were like sort of like just vibing, and I was like, ow, I can't remember. There was a video of it though, and I was like, my time, Daisy's, whatever, like Daisy's Beach Club, I'd love to play there. And literally a year later, no late, like not a day later, God said this is gonna happen. And I played Daisy's exactly a year after I started becoming a DJ. That was crazy to me. That was insane.
I, the one thing I've learned about my career is also about manifesting the right gigs and
Mm,
having the right people around you that create that dream. Because I think
100,
having the right people around you will
yeah,
elevate yourself, like
100%.
to the highest level.
Mm,
Because nothing is nothing's gonna happen without you manifesting, but also
mm.
having make sure that God is in the center.
100%, 100%, man. Yeah, it's been thing for me also. This is so random, but like I'm not like a very religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person.
Yeah.
And for the past like sort of 3 months, like I've started to center like God more and more in everything that I do, and it just like I feel so much more aligned with my purpose. Like you know what I mean? Like I know what I'm here to do. Like how cool is that, dude? But yeah, 100%. Just working at it. You know, knowing what you want and sort of like working towards that. Because I remember that whole year, I was like, I'm working towards Daisies. Like I was like showing up to every gig, like I was auditioning for that. So yeah, nah.
I also can you elaborate on your DJ name is very interesting.
Not a she.
Your name is very creative and very unique. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So how did it start? Oh, so the Nodashi name was like just an Instagram handle that I had. I went through a couple of names: Kush Queen, Black X Girl. I was, for context, I was at an all girls school, and I realized I don't really fit into this idea of what a girl is, what our school sort of like wants us to be.
Yes.
And so I realized, like very early on, I was like 16, I realized, okay, I feel this way about myself, and this is how I see myself in the world, and this is how I navigate the world. I see it through this lens of, no boundaries, non-conformity. I've always been, the kid who gets told to cross your legs because you're not sitting like a girl, and those type of things. And so Narashi was literally that, like me reclaiming sort of my identity and being like, okay, I know I go to an all-girls school, but I actually don't use she/her pronouns. And then and I was looking for a DJ name, and a friend of mine was like, your Instagram handle. Kusta was like, not use not a she. And I was like, you know what? You are onto something, him. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not being, sort of smooth sailing. Like it's not something that's is easy to explain in, especially like our cultures. Yeah, but like we black people, we Xhosa, we all these things, like we don't even have the language sometimes to navigate. Like how am I gonna tell my mom what non-binary is? I don't know what that word means in Xhosa, what that word is. But yeah, so basically that's where it came from. And now it's also sort of being like, a conversation starter. People are always like, oh, what does this mean? If not a she, then are you a he, or whatever. But yeah, it's also quite cool that I get to educate people in a way.
I think it's really I've
Thank
been
you.
for a very long time, and I think you are really doing incredible. And I think be authentically you, and I think that's the whole point of my show, and this is the point of Women's Month, and this is the whole point of life. I think you need to be you, even if you don't know yourself yet,
Yeah,
or fully know yourself yet. I think the right people will know you, right?
100%.
You don't have to audition for anybody. You just
100%. Show up in the world like exactly as you are.
and because I feel like this world, especially in the music scene, right? I think it's as beautiful as you want it to be, right? But it can also be dangerous.
100.
As long as you surround yourself with the right people and you have the right intentions, you can be whoever you want to be, and however big you want to be.
100%, definitely. I mean, even like sort of like your show, like I was looking at some of the people that you've had, the guests, and I'm like, damn, girl, like, okay. So even that, like just like starting something and doing it, you literally don't know where it's gonna end up. Like you could literally host your own show at some point and you'll be like, you know what, this makes sense because you've been building, the experience, the platform, also your own courage, all those kinds of things, just to be able to do that thing and to be able to show up for it. So
Yes.
yeah.
I think also please let us know about your branding thing. Build a brand or
Oh, branding the beat. um
buy for it.
no stress, no stress. I love a good like alliteration or something like that. I'm a bit of a nerd. So branding the breed essentially comes from my experience background in advertising. So not only am I a DJ, curator of vibes, I'm also a student. I study advertising. I major in graphic design, but I'm really, really passionate about art direction, which in simple is just like coming up with really cool ideas and finding ways to execute them. But also I love like marketing and like, you know, as I've grown in even in what I'm doing, I've started to understand that basically marketing runs the world, like advertising runs the world. It's in everything that we do, and that is how we consume everything essentially. And so yeah, I stumbled upon advertising, found this, and it was something that I really, really love. And so I, a couple of years ago, like when I started DJing, I had the idea to, do something to marry the two, but I couldn't really figure it out at the time. I built a brand, Connect, like 4 years ago, I think, which started out at the time as just like we were hosting little things for artists, like a picnic here, a 420 event here, stuff like that, where we spotlight artists, we give them platforms to perform, all those kind of things. And I've always wanted to sort of like, have my own thing. I feel like a very entrepreneurial spirit. And, as time has gone by, like I said, like in these past few months, like once I feel like I started centering God in my life, like so much things started to make sense. Even this, like I've always been like, how do I connect my music, advertising all together into one and, build something? And actually, crazy enough, one thing about God, people always prepare you for where you're going. Because last year I did a course in scaling your business, basically, where I basically took this idea of Connect, and now I sort of started building the basis of an agency. Essentially, I'm giving it away here, so people don't know yet, but yeah, we soft launching. So that's where I started sort of like, conceptualizing now Connect as an agency. um and now everything is sort of started to come into play, and I then figured out, okay, cool, I have this knowledge. I've always been talking about, I'm always telling people, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. So I'm like, okay, let me build my own platform to be able to communicate to people in the way that I want, to be able to communicate directly, but also very strategic about what I do. I'm building, like a legacy for myself. This is something that I'm very, very passionate about. I love marketing. I love creativity. Like it's everything to me. And being able to marry these two things is such a blessing. And so that's basically where Branding the Beat was born. And literally today I launched a form which is basically sort of like we're collecting data to then launch the services to people where we can do branding and marketing for people. So yeah, that's basically what Branding the Beat is all about in a nutshell. It's a baby born from me, and this vision that I have with Connect.
100%. I think I also do that. I also do digital marketing, but I'm not even going to, I'm not even going to like, I feel like digital marketing is, and marketing in general, like it's the one thing, it's the one thing that will either break you as an artist or make you, because I feel like you have to market yourself. You have to market your music. You have to market everything. You have to like. I'm not saying post every day. Like
Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying. But be as consistent as you need to be, so that people
Mm.
are aware of who you are and all this stuff. Because I music talent is not enough. And
Yeah.
I think when you were comparing Uncle Waffles and the
And
other.
yeah, that.
Yes, I was like, okay, this is great because we're not fighting, but we are having a
Mm.
conversation that isn't really needed, because I feel like people only look at the talent. They don't look at.
100%.
Mm.
And it's such a crazy thing, because in South Africa we have I think so many artists. We have so many artists. It's actually a fight to get noticed, right? And even something that you said about like you don't have to post, like right, like marketing is not that. It's not about posting, and that's like this thing that people get like
Attention.
messed up, that you have to have like, yes, you have to have a social media because obviously we live in this day and age, like we can't negate the fact that this is how we connect, this is how we communicate, but now how does that translate into like what you're doing for your artistry? How are you connecting your art to people? And I've had this chat about like, so we have so many artists but we don't have many brands, like we don't have many artistic brands. Like when I think back to like back in the day, I'm not that old, but like for me, like a legend that I could look back on and be like, this person has a brand that is solid. Brenda Fassie. She's not even alive anymore, but that the everything that she built around herself is like what we're missing. And the fact that when I was also like putting together those examples, the only two people that I could actually find anything on the internet was Uncle Waffles and Tyler, because they've got it now. Like they've got the marketing, they've got the everything. They know that it's not just about the music anymore. It is important. Not that it never was just about the music. And we're not saying that music isn't important or your artistry isn't important, but how you package it in order for people to be able to, consume it, is also very important. So I think that is something that is like really, really necessary. And we keep on having this chat that we don't have a creative or we don't have a music industry in South Africa. We don't have it because we don't take ourselves seriously. We don't think that we are brands. We think that we are just people who do this for fun. And that's why we have artists beefing on Twitter or Facebook like they're nobodies. And not that they're nobodies or whatever, not to be rude or whatever, like that normal people shouldn't fight, but like just stuff like that, like not being able to take yourself seriously. Like it says a lot about everything, like about the broader mindset. Like we don't have that mentality that what we are doing is serious because we're building something, and I think that a lot of us actually don't realize. And that for me has sort of been the motivator to try and push people to understand that we are building here, like and for us, especially here in Cape Town, like we don't have what Joburg has, like this booming entertainment industry. It's only now starting to pick up, and if we do want it to get to that point and we want to accelerate fastly, we need to start treating music like the business that it is. Or we need to start treating art like the business that it is. Obviously, if you don't want to be an artist who makes money off of your art, that's okay. But for the people that do,
Yes.
they need to start following suit.
I think can I add something?
Yeah, no, definitely.
um, I think my issue is like I love the fact that we're having this conversation because it's important, and I think it's eating my brain because because people think being an artist or being a DJ is all it is. Like people playing and people complaining that I don't get gigs, I don't get this, I don't get this.
Yeah.
But where's the content? Where's intentionality? Where's where sorry
No stress.
where is the intentionality, and where are like you're looking for a brand, you're looking for a management, right? Management, but management, how are they going to help you if they don't have anything to show for it? Because
Yeah.
I feel like whether you're in Cape Town, whether you're in Joburg, whether you're in Durban, whether it's still the same. It may differ because Joburg is the
The skills.
yeah, the highest scale, but I feel that the only way to elevate and grow, we have to work together in order to flourish in the way that we want to flourish. Because I feel like even though I don't get gigs as much as I want to, I feel like I'm as active as I need to be because I know what kind of brand I want to be and what kind of artist I want to be. I don't want to just be the one who's playing every night. No.
And also like, yeah.
You can tell I'm just finishing my thoughts. And also, I think gigs must be intentional.
100%. 100%. Everything, right? Like everything that we do as an artist, right, is a reflection of, if you are intentional, it is a reflection of your direction, your roots, your values, like, all the things that you think are important to you. So wait, there was something that you said now. I forgot. I have such a bad memory. um, what was that thing that you had just said?
Which one?
I don't know.
Which one? Said a lot of things.
Yeah, intentionality, artistry. Okay, but yeah, like the we spoke on it though, but I think, yeah, just that, like the sooner we can take this seriously, the sooner everything will just start to grow. And I'm so excited for where like we're gonna be as an industry in a like like the broader sense,
Yes.
in the next 5 years, because even now, like, we're exporting so much, one, music, but also artists, which is also really really important, because we can't just have the music going abroad and not the people who are actually, making the music. So that's also, like, yeah, really really exciting, and I'm looking forward to the growth of the industry 100%.
Yes, 100%. And I think what to close that point, I promise. I think people must just be aware of have the backing of people. Like
Mm, mm,
have the backing of people, like you did the Brit music thingy,
mm.
and it worked for you and everything. I'm like, yes, and I,
Big,
and I, and I,
I found what my point. My point.
okay.
I remembered you were saying something about the fact that, like, you're not playing as much as, or what, like, as you'd maybe like to, or you're not as active. And there's also, like, this important thing that I've also started to realize, is that if you're an artist, the only, like, it's not only important to be building a repertoire, or like a gig guide, or EPKs, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
It's also important to build your own sort of, like, value system. Like, what value are you adding to the broader landscape? So this, what you're doing here, already, like, sets you apart from so many people, because we don't have these kinds of, like, conversations a lot, where we're sitting down as artists and we actually, like, are talking about artistry, and we are sort of, like, interrogating each other, not like in a bad way, but, like, just really really, like, going and diving deeper. And so, that's also a very important thing, is to build your own value, like where you want to be as an artist, flesh out that space, and dominate that, like, differentiate and dominate. That's literally it. So
I
you're
think
not you're not you're not behind because you're not digging, you're building. So,
yes,
yeah.
100%. And I don't feel like I am left behind because
Mm,
like
mm,
I feel like I'm still doing
yeah,
I'm still doing other things that I'm like we're shaking the room that we need to shake.
absolutely, absolutely.
And I think also so tell me also so tell me what's your vibration when it comes to being a woman? Like could you said you don't want to be labeled as a woman, or you don't want to be labeled as a, like, no, I'm not
No, no,
trying
no, that's just,
trying to be
it's
that,
okay.
but I'm just trying to understand who you are and understand what type of woman do you represent yourself as,
Mm.
so that people understand what type of woman people feel like I am or you are.
Yeah. So, I mean, one, I definitely do use the word woman to reference myself. I have my period. Like, I'm on my period right now. So, like, those are lived experiences that I can't take away from. Like, this physical body does so much for me. it is a certain way. Like I was born this way. And so I do have lived experiences as a woman, but also as a person, I navigate the world. My lens is that of a non-binary person. So I've taken away all the gender roles. I've taken away all of that, but also I can't take away how people perceive me. And so that's why for me, like, not that it's because of other people, but also my relationship to womanhood. I have no issue like referencing myself as a woman. I just am more free spirited than the next. I don't like being called she, like, but I don't really care.
I
But
love
yeah.
I love that. I think it's really important. I think for me as a woman, like I don't really like celebrating Women's Month because I feel
Mm.
there's nothing to
There's
celebrate
nothing to celebrate.
in a sense because there's they there is a lot there's a lot of things like there's mental health, there's people dying everywhere, there's like
GBV, it's a lot.
like I don't feel like a woman because I don't feel safe in my own country because I feel like
Mm,
people are not being serious and people are not
mm,
taking us serious
100%.
when we say certain things are happening. They only take it serious when things take lead.
Hit close, yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be that. I'm sorry to be. I'm sorry to be that person, but we
No,
have
no, no.
to.
Yeah, no, definitely. And speaking on like sort of like womanhood, and like for me a big thing has been the sort of like people just overlooking women in music, man. Like it's such a crappy thing. Like it's such a weird thing. Like um and people feel that it is not something that they have to be serious about. They don't have to be intentional about
Yes.
being inclusive. And it's like, why do you feel that way? Because if you look at the current landscape, it is very much dominated by men. Not that they're the best at it, but they are the most they trained on English. Um, they saturate the space. They saturate the space
Yes.
like they like and that for me is like, if you as a man in music who is very very intentional about what you do don't see the exclusion of women as a serious problem, there's something seriously wrong with you. Because I remember having a conversation with someone, like I think it was last year, and this man shocked me to my core. He said, no, but we don't have to include female DJs and whatnot, like, because my complaint was like lineups are like literally always like 80% men. It's Women's Month. How many lineups have I seen with men only or one woman on the lineup? Like,
I
the least you could do, I'm not saying give women opportunities only because it's Women's Month. No, we deserve it all the fucking time. But if you really really want to be about it, give women opportunities and pay them at that. Don't just give us opportunities, pay them well. Because that also is another big problem. The men are circulating tens of thousands of rands around them, but when it comes to women in the industry, they want to give them portions of the rates. They want to give them the first slot. They want to give them like, subpar treatment. And it's so disgusting, honestly. It's infuriating. And the fact that we don't see it as a problem, like, it's so crazy to me. It like it bothers me. Like it's mind
bothers me.
blowing.
It also bothers me, and I think the two things I want to add to that, if that's okay with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, no, definitely.
I think because I feel like people always say that we have the same art, we have the same people on the same lineup.
Mm,
Then you must be the change, right?
exactly.
Something to happen, do it.
Something must give.
Do
Mm,
right. But also, I mean, like this is why I keep saying and it fucking irritates me. Sorry for my language, but it really really irritates me that people say, oh, we don't have we don't have a lot of female on the no. Stop
they are.
because you're the promoter. You're supposed to do your research. You're supposed
Mm,
to pay the people
mm,
you're supposed to pay. And like I feel like people don't understand that it's really important. I don't care if it's Women's Month. I
mm,
don't care. Like I don't celebrate it because there's nothing to celebrate. But what I think is important is that people like myself and you and everybody else that wants to be in the music scene or produce music that is a female needs to have the opportunity to do
100%.
instead of feeling like sad or um intimidated because they feel like, oh, the age.
Yes, Shelina Manika.
Yes, yes. I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't like. I really don't care if you feel the need that you. There are a lot of people that are very good that are,
Mm.
but they don't get the opportunity because the promoter is so scared to take the risk or whatever the case may be. I don't. And we in 2025 here.
Yeah, but we have such a long way to go because also what I've also noticed is like the energy that like we get when we go on stage, right?
Yes,
One, if people aren't expecting you to be another Uncle Waffles,
yes,
it's people giving you the weird looks, the what is she doing here? What are you about? Like, and it's like, so clearly there is this perception that women don't belong on the stage unless they are puppeteering or entertaining us in some way, shape or form that we find entertaining, appealing or whatever it is. And it's such a weird thing because why? Like, why would you think I'm not gonna get here and like rock this shit without having to dance? Like, I'm not a dancing DJ. I'm not gonna dance just because people think that's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not gonna do that to try and appeal to more people.
yes.
um and it's really such an infuriating thing, and it's such an upsetting thing because it dilutes what we're doing here. Because for me, like, music is such a sacred, it's such a spiritual thing. Like,
Yes,
for me, I'm doing like healing work, like with the music that I play. Like, I try to very much be intentional about the sets that I play, the music that I play, so now when people have expectations of us, they want us to be taking their song requests, but they never give the niggas like any stuff like that. It really does undermine what we do so much. And it's just like, I really wish that, one, the promoters would change, but also the audience, because people themselves also are the problem. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they are
they
there
don't. They
are also
don't.
oftentimes, like, you'll see, it's such a weird sport. I don't want to comment. I don't want to comment too much on it because then I don't know if I'm gonna be the one in the wrong here or not.
Same.
But like, we have this problem also where, like, let's say like there are like women playing on the lineup, like, and they're killing it, they're rocking, but we just have this resistance. Like, we have this urge to make them feel ashamed. We don't want to dance because we are waiting for Kabza to play or whatever it is, and then the minute a guy gets on the stage, like, everyone's turning up, everyone wants to move and gyrate and show off to the DJ, but you can't give the same support to the women who are playing really good music. It's such a weird phenomenon, honestly.
Because to close that point, I promise. I think also the energies. The people need to stop expecting what they expect. Because
Mm,
I feel like the one example I can give you of like real respect for women and real respect for a real event company that really is changing the landscape of music and really changing the landscape of how music should be done. I think
yeah.
I'm not just saying this because they're friends of mine or whatever. Um,
Shout
um,
out, friends.
Hype Nation, because I feel like Hype Nation
Okay.
is Pretoria.
I
Pretoria.
know I know of them. I haven't taken note like that, but I'll check it out because I like to know what's up. So I'm definitely gonna check them out, see what they've been doing. Yeah.
And then I think the Z Nation thing that happened this past weekend, I think they are truly doing remarkable things because they're trying to change the landscape of how music should be done. I think
100%.
because I think we can all play we can all nag about being we're not getting respected, we're not doing this, but what can we do as a company,
Mm,
as a community to
100%.
this? Because we can't just be like, oh, nag, nag, nag. No, we have to
Mm.
be the change. We have to be the. It's a
Yeah,
long it's a long way to go, like you said, and
100%.
I don't know how we're gonna change it because people are so screwed minded that they want what they want, which is okay, and they don't want to change. But I don't know how we're gonna move forward, but
Yeah.
that's what it is. My second to last question to you is, in your perspective, besides what we've discussed, in your like, besides the people that you've talked about, like you want, like, who would you think, who would you like to do a back to back with that really solidifies your flavor and challenges you in the best form possible?
Ah, shit. Oh, damn. Okay, let me think about this. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Mm, I have, so, okay. One, I think some, like, these are just like people that I would love to play with. I think that they would, like, sort of keep me on my feet 100%. Fizz and Shaya, like, they femme duo from Cape Town. They were also one of like the first like sort of female powerhouses that I've seen in like the deep house space, and I look up to them like a lot. I think, yeah, definitely that could be like a really cool, because they have quite a unique sonic style, but they're also quite versatile, and I think we could learn from each other in that sense, like when we are playing. Because I know that I bring my own elements as well, and they have quite a very like flowy sort of vibe, and like a, I don't know. And then the other person that I would, hmm, trying to think. I have someone in mind, but I'm trying to think. Is this the person?
Uh,
Okay. I'm gonna say someone who's, wow. Whose sets do I really enjoy? um, can I just leave it at that?
okay, of course.
um, there's a couple of like I think just for it being Women's Month, I'm gonna leave it with Fizz and Shaya, because I was gonna mention like a couple of guys, but nah, we're not gonna do that.
100%. I like a lot of weird stuff. Like, it's so, like, I like a lot of weird stuff, and then people gonna be like, "Ooh, why do you like this?" But it fits so well.
Mm.
Um, for me, I think Dawson. Like, I know it's women's. I know it's women.
No, 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 don't feel like you have to.
Dawson has solidified how music should be done, right?
Mm,
I
mm.
feel, and then and then you've got and then you've got who else? Who else? Who else? Yeah.
I don't want to give men their flowers right now. I could name many names, but I'm not giving them their flowers right. This is my spotlight.
um I think there's a lot of people. There's a lot of
Yeah.
guys. I feel like there's so many talented people. I can't name them because there's so many, and there's so, like, I can't choose one. So
Yeah. But
but
no, definitely Dawson. I think Dawson. Why didn't I think of him? Actually, absolutely up there. He was also one of like the first big artists that I played with, and I remember I was like, I was thinking,
yes, girl, yes, girl, you.
this was like 2022 or something, 2023. I can't remember. But yeah, he's also such a dope like person, and great
Oh,
artist. So I
yes.
would actually love to go back to back with Dawson. Oh my God. Oh my days.
I feel,
Dawson, if you're watching this,
I
let's
feel
go back to back at Dope Pro.
Because it's so sweet at the same time. I've never met him before, but he feel within his within
Energy, yeah.
within his music, he feels like he's approachable. If that makes.
Mm, 100.
And then you got I remember now. So, her name is Ten Oceans. I think her name is Ten
Ten
Oceans.
Oceans, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, that's a good one. And Shamiso, oh my God, I'd actually no Desiree. I'd love to play with Desiree
Yes,
because especially because she plays like more electronic music and dance music, and that's something like I said, I want to tap into the festival space. A
yes.
back to back with her, let's say Afro Nation, that would eat.
I,
Yeah.
I think it's really important. I think I would love to have like I would love like to like for me I would like to make sure the show is like as international as it can be because
Mm,
it needs to be because I feel like we need to have a place where people feel safe, not necessarily an interview,
mm.
a conversation.
100, 100.
There's a difference between an interview than a conversation because you can have a lot of interviews, but you can't have a pre
Conversation.
100%.
100.
And I think that's important. My last question to you is, if you could tell your younger self anything, what would it be?
Oh, that's gonna make me so emotional. Like I said, I'm on my period right now, so but yo, wow. I tell you, my dog, like it's okay. Like I was such a weird kid. Like I was quirky, I was tomboyish, I was like random, I was like I had so much energy. I was so artistic, I was so gifted, I was so smart, I was so eager, I was so curious. And I tell myself like all of that is okay because like I think there's this thing in society where as young girls we're taught to shrink ourselves. Oh, I sound like Beyonce now. We're taught to shrink ourselves. And I like for me, I don't think I really got to that point where I really like shrunk because a lot of what I did I was good at and I was praised for that. But a lot of my self-worth came from that appraisal. So
Yeah,
for me, I think I definitely would tell myself it's okay to be a lot, to be yourself, and to just like take your time with it because everything everything like makes sense in the end. Like all of that right now makes sense. Like I remember when I was younger, I used to like be in front of the TV and mimic like presenters and the intros. And now I have that confidence. Now I want to go into broadcasting, and I'm building a journey into that. I'm in entertainment, something that I knew I was going to do. I thought I was going to be a dancer, but so just all of that, like reminding myself and like letting myself know that like all of that, like it's gonna be worth it. Like the teasing, the whatever, like it's yeah, yeah. I hug myself too. Oh my God.
once in a while you need to hug yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, once in a while you need to hug yourself and say you did that. You know.
Mm.
The one thing I would tell myself is that if you want to do something, do it. Don't limit yourself because everybody else says you must limit yourself. Like you said, I
Mm.
feel like for the longest time I thought I wouldn't be what I wanted to be because
Yeah.
I was listening to other people, and and then I realized um, life is too short to be not checking the rooms. Life is too short not to tell your story. Life is too short to be like, what if, you know?
Yeah. Life is too short to not dream big.
Yes.
Like it's such a beautiful world that we live in. Like anything is possible. And like I think that for me has been the biggest learning and the biggest takeaway, like doing all of this. Like I remember growing up and like I used to see like artists on TV, and I used to like watch this and I loved it, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I'm an artist now, and it's like, wait, what? And I've met some of the coolest people. I've gotten to work with people that I watched growing up, like Usis Solani, like, stuff like that for me is so crazy. And it's just a testament that literally anything is possible. Like, our dreams are valid. And we need to hear that more often, especially as young Black creative kids. Like, we don't hear that enough. Like, we're told so many times that, like, we can't do this, it's not possible, it's not feasible, it's not a career, you can't make a living off of it, but you can. And like, it's so beautiful to see, like, in action, and like us building these things for ourselves. Like, I'm so excited for the future. Like, it's
And to close off, um, one thing I would tell the younger
yourself, yeah.
everybody is that nothing is impossible unless you. This is why it's important to surround yourself with the right people, not
100.
people, but people are actually going to help you elevate and
Mm-hmm.
help you go to soar, and also believe in yourself because even if you have sometimes you have to be delusional.
Yeah. The Lulu is the Lulu for
Yes,
real.
yes, absolutely. And I think just be authentically you, but be delusional at the same time.
100%.
Uh, thank you,
100%.
thank you so much for taking the time. I really, really appreciate it. And all I wish is you to be flourishing the way that you need to flourish, and may God always be who you want. All your dreams come true. And may God always be in the center.
Thank you so much. I wish you all the best as well. Thank you for having me. This was really nice. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this.